The wedding toast can be one of the most unpredictable parts of the wedding day. On one hand, they can be really strong emotional dialogue. On the other hand, they can be incredibly just cringe.
That's what friends are for.
But when it comes to how you capture it, this can be one of the easiest things to mess up and overthink because most reception lighting is designed for ambiance and not your cameras. And our goal as wedding videographers isn't to overpower or ruin the vibe, it's to respect it and make sure that we're just capturing this moment in a genuine way, being intentional, and designing light to fit with the room so that when we do capture this moment, it looks flattering for the couple and it feels intentional. So the most common foundational setup when it comes to lighting is the 3-point setup. This is where you have a key light, a fill light, and a backlight or rim light. Your key light is your main source of light, usually off to the side of your subject's face at a 45-degree angle. And then a fill light is a softer light on the opposite side to help reduce some of the shadows. And then your backlight or your rim light is placed behind the couple so that it separates them from the background and creates depth. And most common setups for the reception and during the speeches is for the toaster to stand either beside the bride and groom at the sweetheart table, for the toaster to stand in the middle of the dance floor, or you have those wild cards who like to travel through every inch of the reception space, causing you to lose your mind and your sanity and all that wasted time that you just spent figuring out the best lighting setup.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But believe it or not, you actually have a lot more control over this part of the day than you might realize. You just need a few things to make that happen, and honestly, I just recommend not letting the DJ or the planner make this decision for you because truthfully, they don't care. So number one is to get a mic stand. This is gonna give you so much more control, save you so much headache. It's the best thing ever. The second is to ask the planner for a layout of the space. Most planners send this over anyway, which is great because then you can channel your inner Kevin McAllister and create your battle plan. Next is to don't be afraid to switch up the space if you need to. Ask the bride and groom if they can just sit in front of the sweetheart table or on the opposite side of the sweetheart table, depending on what the layout looks like. You wanna make sure that you're capturing this moment beautifully, and if the setup doesn't really cater to that, don't be afraid to switch things up. And last is to take the lead here. Truthfully, photography doesn't need to take the lead here because this is speeches, you're dealing with audio. You wanna make sure that the setup looks best on video. Photography can work around you, but just make sure you communicate and collaborate together. Now, let's talk about the mistakes that I keep making when it comes to setting up my lights. Most of it revolves around the positioning of my lights and the overall temperature of my lights. For instance, at my last wedding, we had the dad speech first. For this setup, I decided to go with a cross light setup. One key light for the couple on the right side, and then a backlight and a key light for the toaster on the opposite side. Because of where the dad was positioned, this lighting setup didn't give me the contrast that I really wanted, and some of his face just kind of felt flat to me. And when it comes to the temperature, I was kind of struggling with this because it was an outdoor ceremony, so I was initially thinking 5600 for my lights will be good to go, but the speeches didn't happen until much later, so I got darker, and the main source of light was these orange practicals. Overhead string lights that were just really orange and around 3200 Kelvin. So I ended up switching my lights to 3200 Kelvin and that ended up looking great. And when it comes to the temperature, you really want to use the dominant temperature in the room for your lights so that, again, you can blend in with the ambiance of the room and not try to detract or take away from the moment. So after the dad's speech, I decided to reposition my lights to just one side. So I moved the key light to the left side, kept the backlight where it was, and then for the next speech, it was perfect. It looked great on the person who was giving the toast. It was everything I wanted, except for the couple's reaction shot. They only had now a backlight hitting the back of their head, and then the other light was focused as a key for the speech giver, so the couple's faces were just kind of dark. So the lighting setup wasn't ideal for there. I wish I had like a third little fill light that I could have just blasted on the couple. But even if I had a fill, it probably would have spilled onto the person giving a toast because of the positioning of where everything was laid out. So sometimes you just have to do the best with what you have. But speaking of positioning, there's no better way to put yourself in a stress-free position when it comes to running your business. This is Limly, a CRM for wedding videographers created by wedding videographers. who understand what it takes to run a successful wedding business. Honestly, without a place to manage my leads and take my couple on a streamlined booking experience, I would be lost. And with Limly, you can track leads, project status, due dates, create and send your couple's video through a beautifully designed gallery, build custom packages and collections, send contracts and questionnaires, and manage your expenses. It really is a one-stop shop when it comes to running your wedding video business, and I can't recommend Limly enough. So they have been kind enough to offer you guys a discount when you click the link down below so that you can lighten your workload and get back to creating beautiful films. One of my favorite techniques to use, if it's possible, is to bounce light off the walls. Honestly, I'd prefer to bounce light than having direct light because it's just gonna give you a softer, diffused look. And of course, it's gonna be better for the guests because there's always a couple guests at every wedding. It's just like, oh my God, that light's so bright. Oh, I can't see. Well, maybe don't look at it. The bouncing light is great. I love it. I love the look that you can get with it. I use it for my YouTube videos. I have a light that's literally just bouncing right off the wall. And you can see I got the Rembrandt triangle right here. We have some nice diffused lighting going on over here. So if you can get away with it, bouncing light is a great technique. And of course, you've heard it before, but shooting into the shadow side is going to give your film a more elevated cinematic look and feel. And if it's possible, to get the planner to dim the lights in whatever space you're in so that you have more control over the lights and you can really dial in the look you're going for is going to help you out a ton as well. But at the end of the day, having perfect lighting isn't about perfection. It's not about just getting that stylized look. It's honestly just about being intentional. And if you can light up the space in a way that feels intentional, that feels genuine, that feels authentic to the environment, that's going to be the best case scenario. And honestly, if I can just not use lights, I'd rather just get away with not having to use them, use what's readily available to me. It would just save me a lot of headache and stress because I do stress about lighting sometimes. As you can see, making this video, talking about lighting, stressing. But if you want to check out the lights that I use, that I recommend, I will have a link down in the description below. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and valuable in some way. If you did, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing. And until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.